Already qualified. I mean, you could have actually won the group. I mean, you said yesterday about how much you care for the club. Was that good enough from your players tonight?
Why don't you say your opinion?
Well, I'm asking you though, because you could have won the group and got a draw that might have been more favourable. Well, are you pleased with them then?
No, not pleased.
Have any of the 8 players that you brought in done anything to suggest that they'll play on Sunday?
Sorry?
The 8 players that you brought in, will they have a chance of playing now on Sunday because of their performance, or is there no chance at all of them playing?
Can you repeat the question?
Is there any chance of the 8 players that you brought in today playing on Sunday on the back of that performance?
Marcos Rojo, no, because he's injured. The rest, they are not injured. They belong to the squad. We have lots of players that were not here today because they are injured. This is our squad. These are our players. Of course, they have chances to play Sunday.
Hi, Jose. I obviously assume no one would have necessarily anticipated the result between Juventus and Young Boys, and I imagine you couldn't have prepared this game assuming that that was a strong possibility. But with hindsight, do you feel like there's been an opportunity lost, the chance to have won this group and perhaps made the rest of the progress in the competition that a little bit easier?
I think that to qualify in this group is a success. Never a failure. To finish second in this group is always a success. And before the game, I told the players that if we win tonight and Juventus win, we did our job. If we don't win and Juventus doesn't win, we can blame ourselves. I don't think the draw, finishing first or second, a part of a couple of clubs that are clearly much better than the others. I don't think the draw will be significantly different. I think there are teams that finish second that the ones that finish first are not happy to play against. So I think there is, since the Champions League, coefficients and head groups, and the first of the championship become in pot 1, I think the scenario changed completely and gives immediately on the last 16 matches gives immediately combinations that normally they would only appear from the quarterfinal. Now these kind of combinations, they can appear immediately in the last 16. For example, the Champions League finalists of the last season, they can meet each other in the next round, as an example. So I don't think the problem is about the draw, a part of, I repeat, a couple of teams that are clearly much better than the others. But I expect from my players, especially players that week in, week out, you ask me why they don't play, why they don't start. Was a good match to play. A match without any kind of pressure, a match of a competition that everybody likes to play, and in the end my team improved really when I made the changes that I didn't want to make, which is a little bit of frustration because I didn't want to play the 3 players that I played in the second half.
Jose, did you learn anything then from this game?
No. Maybe you did.
They just
not me.
reinforced certain things that you thought about players, and how much of a
I
setback?
didn't learn anything from this game. Anything. Nothing that happened surprised me at all.
And is it a setback? Is this a setback ahead of Sunday? Because obviously
No. Not a setback in relation to Sunday. Not at all. Not at all.
Is it safe to assume about Lingard, Rashford and Young, you saying you do want to bring them on, that they will start on Sunday then?
You have only to find 8 more.
Yeah.
Jose, do you have any regrets about the team you put out tonight?
Regrets why?
Because
Smalling is injured. Smalling is injured. Lindelof is injured. Damian is injured. Martial is injured. The only 2 players that I could bring, Dalot is injured. The only 2 players that I could bring, and I didn't, was De Gea and Matic. Matic, you are the first ones to make the stats and to say how many minutes he is playing, and you are saying week after week that he needs a rest. If he doesn't have a rest in a match where we are already qualified, then he would play until he explodes. So of course Matic was a normal option to leave him out. And David is a question of give a match or no to Romero. Marcelino did the same with Neto and Domenech. Romero is such a good goalkeeper that I played him even in the Europa League final a couple of years ago. So these were the 2 changes that I could say they could play. Apart of that, nobody. And last week we had 3 matches. The majority of the players are the players that are playing all the time. And I had no other options, including a player like Marcos Rojo that I expect to play today and give a rest to people like Ashley Young, for example. At half time he's injured and is out. So the players that I play, if this match was a match to decide the group, would be a very similar team. Yeah, that's the reality. So when sometimes you make analyze to Manchester United and you speak about our ambitions and you speak about our level, sometimes you should learn the situation a little bit better, because you make certain kind of comments.
Okay, last question.
Jose, I think that was the 10th time in the past 15 games that you've gone behind. When you say nothing surprises you about that performance, is that one of those things that the team is just going behind too often in games? And how, as a manager in the work you do, how frustrating is that it's just happening time and again, despite what you're doing on the training ground with them?
What do you think is my answer? So you don't need my answer.
Okay, guys, thank you.